Charles Barkley. Hey, I'm Charles Barkley here to wish you the best of luck on your runs. Your Plutonia run a couple of years ago rekindled my interest in Doom. You better get the Neurosphere Archville first jump this time. And what else have we got here? We have $50 from one of our beloved community members, Karaoke, who says, hi, the clever and cute Karaoke here, donating during Tetris Attack because it's one of my mom's favorite games. Good luck to all the racers, but a special message to Cards for the Heart, sardines. My money goes to Demon Chocobo for Final Fantasy VI. Mahahaha. I should do a better evil laugh than that. I've been doing Dooms like, there we go. That's better.
We're live? Awesome.
You good to go? All right. Time to play some Doom!
Time to play some Doom.
Doom.
Yeah, I thought this was Stripe. Am I on the right couch right
So I hope everyone enjoyed their Mickey Mouse games, but it's time to kill some demons.
Wow, shots fired, dude.
So I will be playing the Plutonia Experiment on Ultraviolence. We don't play on easy difficulties here. And let's get started. Oh, let's do a couch roleplay first, starting with...
A roleplay? This is...
Roll
Am I
call.
the Archvile? Is that what it was? I forget.
Bubbles
Roll
del
call.
Fuego.
Blood Thunder.
Natty Ice.
Captain Clever.
Cute face.
Alrighty. So I'm going to get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boom.
So this is Doom. It's a game about shooting guys.
So most people know about Doom 1 and Doom 2, but they don't know so much about Final Doom, and that's because it came out in 1996. And that's kind of an issue because Quake came out in the same year. So if you had an old PC, you might have bought this, but if you had something new, you were probably playing Quake. So Doom is a game with a lot of RNG. So my weapon damage is going to be RNG, the monster damage is going to be RNG, and the monster movement is going to be RNG. So I'm not really 100% sure what to expect with this run. So we'll just have to wait and see.
He's got save states though, so it's fine.
Saves, yeah.
Well, we don't call it save states.
Yeah, they're actually old school saves.
And those right there are chain gunners, and they do really, really high DPS. So even missing the blue key there was, like, I took about 40 or 50 damage there. It was kind of nasty.
Oh, thank you just for helping.
That's one done. So I'm going to be using saves at the start of every map, and that's just because if you do die in any map, you lose all your weapons, and it's really, really bad later in the game. You can't do certain tricks, and it's just hard to get yourself started again. Also, map 2, there's not like a ton that goes on in map 2, so probably a good time for donations. Also, I got crushed. That's not good.
Gotta go fast, man.
I'm trying.
I have $100 from Charles Bakui, who says, hey, Dime, here to wish you the best of luck on your runs. Your Plutonia run a couple of years ago rekindled my interest in Doom. You'd better get the Neurosphere Archvile jump first try this time.
I'll try not to take 3 minutes this time, I promise.
Don't worry, he has a new setup.
I definitely have a new setup. Okay, so just finishing up with map 2 here. So map 3 is going to incorporate a new trick that you did not see last time, which is a glide. Now what a glide is it's a 32 unit gap, and Doom Guy is also 32 units. So by using something called vertical mouse movement and being in the right position, we can slide right on through. Ow.
One.
Ow. That's not good.
Saving the game. 1%.
I'm gonna go slow here. Come on. Okay.
Oh, that's the only hit scanner. You're fine.
Get 25 more health here. Okay, we should be good.
Yeah, the damage output of enemies is incredibly random, and Archviles immediately decide to attack you when you attack them. So it can be hard to kind of balance that.
It's got a little trick here. Got the first one, and I got 2. Nice. So there's two types of strafe running in Doom. So there's strafe 40 and strafe 50. So strafe 40 is just basic forward input plus a strafe input. And it makes you go about 28% faster. Just 1 sec. And there's strafe 50, which requires 4 inputs. There we go.
Nice.
Got it.
That was the glide, by the way.
So it's 4 inputs and allows you to go 41% faster. But the one problem is that it locks your angle. So you can't really use it all the time. I'm going to use it for like long hallways, etc. So I'm doing a lot of switching and button presses when I'm playing this game. Also, this map is very, very difficult, so I'm going to let my couch handle this one.
Is Cage one of those Circle of Death type living end maps?
No.
It's not.
No.
Darn it, there's like 3 of them in this one.
No, this one's not a clone of anything in like Doom 1 or Doom 2.
It certainly reminds me of something at the beginning. But Cage is a very, very frantic map, especially at the very beginning. It's nearly impossible to complete this level on Nightmare because there's several hit scanners at the very beginning, and you probably won't last the first 3 seconds, let alone...
Yeah, I got really, really good luck on the Barons, so this is great.
Yeah, that was really fast.
Nice.
That
Got
central
through.
area tends to be a really big choke point because all the enemies just kind of bunch up in there. And you can get some really high health enemies like Barons getting stuck in there. It takes forever to get through them.
So I've kind of changed up my strategy from last time, which is I got the Megasphere after the Spider Mastermind. But this time I go for it before, because it just doesn't really make a huge difference. But it just ensures that I don't die going, ow.
You were saying?
Yeah, I'm probably going to be saying ow a lot during this run, just to warn you.
It's a good mastermind there.
Yeah, so one thing you'll notice about Plutonia is there's a lot of higher tier monsters really early in the game. Like, you know, we're on map 5 and there's already a Spider Mastermind, and there's been several Barons and other really annoying enemies.
Also, this is kind of a boring hub map, so I'd go for donations in this one.
Awesome. Sucker Punch Monk sends in $75 and asks, what do demons use to shave? A Hellraiser. Doom!
That's the wrong Doom, sir.
Speaking of shaving, shave the frames, shave the animals. I am not the pun announcer. I suppose Sucker Punch Monk doesn't know the shift changed. Then an anonymous $300 donation. Over the centuries, mankind has tried many ways of combating the forces of evil. Prayer, fasting, good works, and so on. Up until Doom, no one seemed to have thought about the double-barreled shotgun. Eat leaded death, my friends.
So
The SSG is the most overpowered weapon in this game.
It's so nice.
It's the most overpowered weapon in every single Doom iteration. Well, except for maybe Siege Gauss. That's, yeah.
Yeah, in Doom 4, it's kind of...
overpowered.
Speaking of Doom 4, the graphics in this game don't look nearly as good.
Yeah, but at least we can play on ultra-violence without feeling bad about it.
So first Cyber Demon here. Part gets kind of gnarly. Okay, we're through.
Good. Good maneuvering. The Cyber Demon hit could have just killed him outright, right there.
Yeah,
so.
Cyber Demon hit can max out at 288 damage. So even if you have a Megasphere, it can pretty much take you out in 2 hits.
So this is the Dead Simple clone. I actually remembered this time. It's Caught Yards, and it's a great pun. I should know.
We enjoy those.
So for anyone unfamiliar, Dead Simple's map 7 of Doom 2, where basically the idea is you have to kill a bunch of Mancubi, and then some walls lower, and there's a bunch of Arachnotrons. And that's basically the same idea, where there's a bunch of Mancubi in the center of the map, and after you kill them, there's some more enemies and a lot of Arachnotrons on the outside.
So we've got a glide coming up here, so it's kind of similar to map 3, except for it's a guideless glide. And that means there's no surfaces on my left or my right to help myself out. So I need to use vertical mouse movement to get into the right spot.
It's just that much harder to set up.
So there's kind of 2 lineups that you can get, and I believe it's luck-based. So there, now I have the right one. I should be able to go through. There we go.
Cool.
So I just kind of learned that over a long time of playing, and also help from Zero Master, who is the current world record holder for every single Doom.
Except Doom 4.
Yeah, except Doom 4.
He did have the first Ultra Nightmare victory. Or
That's true, he did.
So, he's a very Doom type player.
Yeah, so another note about Doom speedrunning in general. So this run wouldn't even be considered a legitimate run because we're using saves on every level. Competitive Doom speedrunning requires a full completion of the game from map 1 all the way to the end. It's basically without pressing the escape key. Technically, you could die, but those runs typically aren't accepted.
Right, yeah, sorry. We'll actually see death happen in this run intentionally, but if you die and you're not exiting the level...
Yeah.
Anyway, that was another guideless glide, by the way. That was a pretty tough one.
That glide's a little bit different because if you do glides from different directions in Doom, there's just different features to it. So that one I just did was a north to south glide, and the one on map 8 was east to west. So why am I opening this? What am I doing? Okay.
It's getting blasted, dude.
Yeah.
Good. That's a little jump.
Little jump to get straight to the red key. Okay.
First one's easy. It's the one coming back that's slightly more challenging.
I'd actually say it's the first one that's more challenging.
Well, it depends on what the enemies feel like doing.
Yeah. So we're going to do a wall run right here. Get straight past this Baron. If you're too slow, he teleports in front of you because there's a monster teleporter in front of his feet. Also, Archviles. Lots of them.
This level is called Hunted. It has the best music ever, and there are no less than potentially 14 Archviles in this maze right now. And he doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't want to wake up the ones that didn't happen to wake up when they were teleported around. So he just has to memorize exactly where he needs to go in this maze, which is not trivial in any way. There's certain line defs that open the doors and certain things he needs to collect. And yeah, it's not easy.
Pretty good first section there. We're not done yet.
Not by a long shot. Archviles are somewhat manipulatable because they don't deal damage until the very end of the animation, and they will continue to try to hit you as soon as they start, and there's like a 1.5 to 2 second delay between those 2 points.
Yeah, they are immobile during that time period, so if you do get stuck, you can just kind of run around the corner and avoid that.
Come on. Okay,
Right.
okay. Man,
No problem.
getting that first try, well, the fact
Without
that
dying.
it's so random to be able to get that, and there were so many in the way, too.
Yeah,
Sometimes there's like nothing.
And he was able to get through that without shooting, waking everything else up, or getting hit once.
So I don't go to the right teleporter because there's 4 more Archviles on Hunted, and they're all in that teleporter.
Yeah, and that room also has a special kind of sector where as soon as you get under, I believe it's 5% health, the level completes, but you don't die. So you end up starting the level with 1%, like 1 to 5% health, which we don't really want that.
Right here, he's setting up enemies because the Z-axis of this game is funny. Cacodemons can kind of just get in the way of these jumps right here.
So we've got a rocket jump coming up here. There's 2 red pixels on the wall that
Just
I'm actually
above
using to help myself.
rocket launcher.
There's a lot of red pixels on the wall. It's kind of hard to
Okay,
explain.
good. Rocket
There we go,
jump.
easy.
He was trying to tell us which ones they are, and he kept telling me it was the 2 that didn't change.
Yeah, there's a couple really bright red ones right above where he puts the rocket launcher.
Yeah, they're very bright and kind of noticeable if you took a really close look at
Yeah,
the
if
screen.
you know right where you're looking, they're pretty obvious.
I love those stairs right there. That just is suddenly like 3 floors higher after that.
And just as a side note about rocket jumps in this game, so the amount that you get propelled by the rocket is dictated by how much splash damage you take, which is higher on ultraviolence, which is one of the reasons that you don't run the game on lower difficulties, because you can't actually do some of the rocket jumps that are required by the speedruns.
I was doing a more aggressive strat there, but I can do a slower strat where I'm just going to use rockets. Because since there's not really like a Z-axis, it's going to do damage vertically. So it's going to kill everything underneath.
Yeah, this is killing enemies right here, in case you didn't notice.
Well,
No,
It's damaging them at least.
yeah. Splash damage isn't incredibly heavy, especially if it's not very near the contact point.
he's supposed to teleport over here, but he's not being very nice to me.
Very nice area.
Okay.
Okay, that went good.
The Archviles were really nice there, and they decided not to attack me, which was helpful. So I hate this trick. And it's just because I can't press 4 buttons at the same time for some reason, because I'm just bad at it. So I'm going to use buffer strats, which is I'm going to use the menu and cheat.
Oh!
That wasn't even the right spot. Okay, let's try it again.
Dude, why aren't you just using F2, F3? Come on.
It's just habit.
Strats, dude.
So basically what he did there is it's a key bump. So if you're moving fast enough, you can kind of pick up items on the top of a ledge, similar to like Doom 64 if you've seen that speedrun. So basically he's just bashing his head against the wall and hoping that the engine will pick up that he's touching the key.
And when you're doing this run like single segment, well, you can't really do buffer strats, so I just lose a lot of runs right there. Unfortunately.
Recently, a Doom World community member known as Linguica, I don't know the pronunciation exactly, sorry, but he came up with a post on the forums for the Doom Movement Bible. A lot of what he talks about is in terms of what's known now as teleport attempt position, or tap, so that every time you're moving a given tick, you can move a certain amount of space, and that's how things like key bumps and glides and all that stuff supposedly works. So I don't know, I just wanted to throw that out there so that people can understand that it's called a tap now. I don't know.
Because you tap the key.
Just tap the game.
So right when we finish up Twilight, we get into the trick section of this run, so we're going to be able to finish the next few maps really, really quickly. We'll probably finish 4 maps in about 2 minutes, if everything goes well. So first one's going to be an Archvile jump, where I need to fire the BFG at the right time, open the door, hit the BFG on the door, kill hit scanners, strafe. Well, the Archvile didn't come. Okay.
Come on.
Where'd he go?
Ow. Okay. Sorry. Dime was supposed to say that.
What are you doing? Please come back. I can't really shoot.
You can't wake up a bunch of other enemies is the problem.
Yeah, if you shoot to this area, there's a bunch of enemies that will teleport in, I think.
A lot of enemies. Okay. Oh, you got...
I don't like this guy very much. Okay.
All right, let's try that again.
Also note the acid that's not dealing damage right now. Plutonia maps are kind of infamous somewhat for that.
Yeah, so you see Dime using the BFG a lot, and you might see him shoot it kind of just like straight into a wall or the corner of a wall or something.
Hey, let's give this a second try.
Yeah, we'll go back to that after he finishes this up.
The BFG has some very awkward mechanics that
There we go.
take a while to learn.
And we walk straight this time.
It's good.
It's a real shame you just don't have double jump.
Oh, you can't really single jump in this one, so. Okay, so new strat in this one, because last time we did the full level, but this time we're gonna skip everything, because I don't want to do it.
Nice.
Yay! Level's so bad he just wants to kill himself.
Okay, so last GDQ, this was very painful for me. It took 3 minutes. We're gonna try to not take 3 minutes.
Just as a side note, he just lost all of his weapons and ammo, you may notice. And
Okay, I'm actually gonna die. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We still got like 30 more attempts, so we're fine for a bit.
yeah, when he had to pull off that death exit, he does actually die, but because he crosses into the line def that triggers the end of the level, the game lets him exit. However, it did still count him as a death, so he gets pistol start. There we go. There we go. Archvile jumps are very finicky to time, so having a proper setup is incredibly important. And No Dime has one, so.
My old strat there was trying to hit off the back wall, like ricochet myself, and then arch foul jump at the right time, and it was way too much movement for what it was worth. It was just a poor setup by me. But now I have a new one, which is much more consistent. This glide right here is exactly the same as map 8. So if we look at the mini-map here, I'm east to west because that's the easiest direction to go by.
There we go. Oh, it's an easy one. It's an easy one.
You can probably do donations during this one.
Thanks. I have an interesting one here from Anonymous, who donates $218, saying, "This donation is $1 for every pound that I currently weigh. I've lost 33 pounds since the second week of April, and several people have pledged to donate for each pound I lost. Doctors Without Borders is an excellent cause." So if we see $33 donations coming in, they may be Anonymous' friend. I also have $100 from Bun Gun, who says, "I first played Doom when I was 4 years old. Favorite game of all time. Looking forward to Dime cuddling the Kaku demons." And then Dime, I don't know if you mind being called out or not, but someone named Tarnsman sends in $200 and says, "If Dime were a real speedrunner, he'd run UV Cyclone while blindfolded."
Yes. So a little bit of reference there. UV Cyclone is kind of a meme category where you either hold the A or D button the entire time and you spin in circles while you complete the level.
Right, you just spin constantly, nonstop.
I'm actually surprised he didn't also include Stroller in that, which is not using the run. That's also another one that he likes to mention.
I think it's had a name change because it used to be called UV Tornado, so I guess now it's Cyclone.
I think you're right, actually. He did change it.
It did change.
Maybe Cyclone includes moving the mouse all the time, too.
Yeah, maybe.
I also have $10 from Gas Dog, who simply says, "Good luck Dime and good luck Cube. May the bloodshed be glorious."
This is using Rocket Splash again to kill enemies on the elevator. And here we're going to do a keep item bump, much like we did
Oh, yeah, this is a switch press to the gate.
This part here is super dangerous.
I knew it was
so
something.
let's see how it goes.
Okay, good.
That was easy.
Yeah, so this level was called Impossible Mission. As you can see, it was very impossible.
At least 75%. I would almost give it 80, but those Barons they didn't even try.
They really didn't
Didn't
that
even
time.
try.
Sometimes they get really in the way.
Now for the hardest map in the run. So,
Yeah, but it has the best music, so it's fine.
oh yeah, them bones.
So, fun fact about Plutonia, it was made by two guys whose names I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was just two pair that were part of the final Doom pack, which was
The Casali, is that what it was?
I
like,
can't
Something
remember
like that?
It's like Dario and Mario.
Perhaps.
Dario
But,
Naharis from Game of Thrones?
basically, the two were brothers, and they each just made 16 maps, and many of them have striking resemblances to Doom 2 and Doom 1. I think, Doom 2 and Doom 1 maps. There's like a couple references to things like Living End and Circle of Death, all over the place, and it's kind of interesting because these are considered very good maps, simply because they emulate the original style very well. But they're also incredibly difficult at the same time. So a lot of people don't recognize the similarities, if only because they're too busy dying all the time.
Impromptu donation incentive. Tell us the name of the brothers who developed it with your donation comment. Wikipedia is not an acceptable source. Sorry.
Doom Wiki might be, though. There's a nice big Doom Wiki. There's actually two Doom Wikis, now that I think
So this will be the Zero Master donation then. Make fun of us for not remembering.
Wouldn't the Zero Master donation be like do Nightmare?
Hey, I remember what TNT. It was Team TNT that made TNT, okay? I remembered that one.
Oh, and Zero Master also was the first one to complete Plutonia single segment nightmare difficulty.
Yep.
I think it was last year. It's a pretty crazy achievement.
Yeah, that went well. That went well.
That was a good one.
I mean, he didn't die.
$50 from Ribix, who simply says, "Hi, Dime, GLHF."
Thanks, Rubix.
He probably would have known too.
Yeah. I feel like we're misrepresenting the Doom community at large right now. I mean, it doesn't help that I don't even run this game.
Neither do I.
I just watch
I just
Dime
know
a
something
lot,
about it.
So it's close
I mean,
enough.
Blood Thunder runs fake Doom.
Hey, it's not Doom 3.
You're right, it's not.
I don't really run Doom. I just play Dead by Daylight like all day.
Rank 1 Trapper.
Kind of surprised you're using a mic right now, too.
So coming up is just this one tiny bit where he wants to make sure that the Cyber Demon doesn't immediately attack him when he goes to the teleporter. And we're good. There's just a really small chance that that might happen, so. Right here is an SR50 jump, so it's important just to skip some part of the level.
So I'd say here's like the last major tricks in the run. So we're going to have a glide. This one I actually discovered, I'd say around 2012, but I figured out you can glide using this pedestal and just skip 4 switches in this room. Just go straight on back. And we finish this one off with a rocket jump. Hopefully. Got it.
Good. It was kind of rough because you don't really have a good position to land on when you're done, and you just have to make sure that you don't fall off.
So what am I actually rocket jumping on the previous map? Well, it's a huge map, and the whole point of it is to press a switch so that you get one additional step so Doom Guy can get up. This poor Doom Guy can't jump.
He has a really bad back, and they had to replace his spine with a steel girder. So, yeah, it didn't really work out too well in some ways, but he's incredibly tough for it now. So
Yeah, it's like Wolverine. It's like adamantine.
Oh.
Huh.
Definitely missed that BFG. That was just bad. So we go to this secret, and that's just to stock up for the next map, which has like 1,000,000 power-ups, so. But it's kind of just to deal with the chain gunners at the end of bunker, because they can kill you off.
this level here is incredibly confusing. So
Yeah, feel free to follow it if you can on the stream.
Try your best.
but it does have the best Doom track ever. Hey, Dime agrees. It's
Into Sandy City is better.
E2M one. It's
Whoops.
all right, and then going for the. Well, he'll get it next time. There we go. Just to make the Spider Mastermind not be completely annoying, because it's right there. It's soon. I guess I forgot when it was.
Yeah, it's right there.
There it is.
There we go.
He's just like, la 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 la, you can't hurt me.
So I need to be just a tiny bit careful because at the end, the Spider Mastermind can push you off into a pit, which is inescapable, and it's very, very sad. I lost a run to that once. Not too much going on in sewers. You can go for some donations.
We received $20 from Kaiser48, who says, Kaiser here, wishing you the best of luck on the run, wishes you luck on that Neurosphere rocket jump as well, and says, the Doom community will be cheering you on. Also, Devastation with a $26 donation saying, keep on dooming forever, guys. And remember, I donated more than Demon Sphere. And there's a little winking smiley face.
Devastation also beat Demon Sphere in the 20th anniversary Doom Deathmatch Challenge.
Dude,
So
way to call
he's
him out.
Yeah.
Zedir with a $200 donation simply saying, Doom! Yeah, there are still some of those in here. It's been ridiculous, folks, but thank you all. See, $50 from Anonymous, who says, this donation is for Doom, but also to commemorate my friend that passed away earlier this year. GDQ is something that we both looked forward to and would always talk about our favorite runs. Thank you, SGDQ, for being so awesome. And I have $75 from Ezzy, who says, when I was a kid, I watched my dad play Doom on our family's Mac, and I thought it was awesome, and eventually played it for myself. To this day, I still have unrealistic fear of things jumping through doors at me. Thank you, Doom, for my fear of all things jumpy. Doom hype! And did we do a couch roll call? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we did.
Yeah, we did one at the start. We can do another one if you want.
No, I just wasn't at the mic yet, so I missed it. Sorry.
We can do it again for Ultimate Doom.
Yeah, we'll do it again at the start of Ultimate.
There you go.
So this is the best downtown level. Downtown being a fairly, I don't know, I would almost call it a claustrophobic representation of a city, whereas this one's actually a good city level, but it really stretches the limits of what Vanilla Doom could pull off. So it's very technically impressive, as well as being a good level in gameplay terms.
How can you hate on a Sandy Peterson map?
Sandy Peterson, best Doom mapper ever. With amazing greats like the Chasm. It's a good one right there.
Great map. It's the best map.
All right, so we're coming up to map 30, which is the Icon of Sin level, where we just have to shoot rockets into some giant boss brain's brain. So that'll be cool. And in this one, there's a cyber demon in the way, which is kind of
Oh, yeah, there is a story to this. So they had some sort of tech that could stop hell gates, and they stopped the first one. So and then 7 more opened, and they could only stop 6. So we're stopping the 7th by ourselves.
Was that lore?
Yeah, that's like in the manual.
There's a little bit.
I don't... Who are you and what have you done with Dime?
There we go.
Yeah, that is a Hellgate right there, that demon head. That's what they use.
1, 2.
Nice.
There we go, one
and
second.
that is time, like now, I guess?
Time.
Yeah, time.
Was 30:59.
That was 14 minutes faster than my previous run.
Yeah, that's an improvement. Yeah, sure.
Just a little bit.
So that was Final Doom, and now thanks to incredibly generous donations from people all over the internet and around here, we are going to show off Ultimate Doom, which is the original Doom that spawned the amazing classic that this game now has become. So.
You donated for it. It's coming up next. More Doom. At a $36.50 donation from Anonymous, who says, had to donate as I sit in awe of one of my favorite video games being destroyed by Dime. Good luck, my man.